Hello, Gabby with you. It's day 23 of your month of mindfulness challenge and part 2 of our exploration into mindful eating. Multitasking whilst eating has become the new norm. Watching TV, scrolling through social media, or working at your desk are all common ways to pass the time during a meal. But this often leads to less satisfaction with your meals, less awareness of your food, and often overeating. Mindful eating is a technique to help you slow down, increase your awareness of your food, and promote healthy eating behaviours whilst building a healthy relationship with food. Here are 6 ways to practice mindful eating versus mindless eating, created by Christopher Willard. You're mindless eating if you're eating past full and ignoring your body's signals. Could you switch that to mindful eating, where you're listening to your body and stopping when full? You're mindless eating if you're eating when emotions are telling you to eat. For example, you're sad or bored or lonely. Could you switch that to mindful eating, eating when our bodies are telling us to eat? For example, if we hear our stomach growling or our energy is low. You might be mindless eating if you're eating alone at random times and places. Whereas, if you're eating with others at set times and places, this is mindful eating. You could be mindlessly eating if you're eating foods that are emotionally comforting. How about switching that to mindful eating and eating foods that are nutritionally healthy? I've mentioned this before, eating and multitasking is often mindless eating, whereas mindful eating is when eating, just eating. And finally, if you consider a meal an end product, you might be mindless eating, whereas if you consider where food comes from, then you are mindful eating. In yesterday's challenge, I asked you for today to bring with you a small piece of food, a raisin, an orange slice, a grape, a single piece of pasta, or even a square from a chocolate bar. If you don't have that now, please press pause on this recording and go and find yourself something so we can try putting into practice what we have learnt about mindful eating. This is the first meditation exercise taught in many mindfulness meditation courses. It was first presented as part of the program Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction, designed by Jon Kabat-Zinn, who you've heard me refer to a few times now. These instructions are from The Mindful Way Through Depression by Williams, Teasdale, Siegel, and Kabat-Zinn. So let's begin. Start by taking a few deep abdominal breaths and relaxing your body. Now, whatever piece of food you've chosen, put it in front of you. Take time to really look at it. Gaze at your food with care and attention. Let your eyes explore every part of it, examining the shape and any unique features of the food. Take a moment to appreciate your food. Where has it come from? Try and imagine the natural environment it originated from, the people who cultivated it, the distance it has travelled. Now take your food and hold it in the palm of your hand or between your finger and thumb. Feel the weight of the food in your hand. Turn your food over between your fingers, exploring its texture, maybe with your eyes closed, if that enhances your sense of touch. Take a moment to check in with yourself. What emotions are you experiencing? Is there pleasure and excitement? Any guilt or unease? Notice anything that you may be feeling right now, non-judgmentally. Take your food and hold it up to your nose. With each inhalation, drink in any smell, aroma, or fragrance that may arise. Noticing as you do if there is anything interesting that may be happening in your mouth or stomach. Now, slowly bring your food up to your lips. Notice how your hand and arm know exactly how and where to position it. Take a small bite without chewing, noticing how it gets into the mouth in the first place. Notice how it feels in the mouth, the temperature and the texture. Spend a few moments exploring these sensations of having the food in your mouth, exploring it with your tongue. Become aware of the taste. Is it sweet? Maybe a little bitter or salty? Gently move your food around in your mouth with your tongue. When you are ready, prepare to chew your food, noticing how and where it needs to be for chewing. Then, very consciously, take 1 or 2 bites and notice what happens as you do, experiencing any new waves of taste that may occur as you continue chewing. Without swallowing yet, notice the bare sensations of taste and texture in the mouth and how these may change over time, moment by moment, as well as any changes in the object itself. When you feel ready to swallow your food, see if you can first detect the intention to swallow as it comes up, so that even this is experienced consciously before you actually swallow. And finally, see if you can feel what is left of the food as it leaves your mouth and moves down into your stomach. Notice any lingering tastes or sensations. Try to sense how the body as a whole is feeling after completing this exercise in mindful eating. And if you'd like to share your experience in this mindfulness eating practice, I'd love to hear from you. You can get hold of me on Instagram @mypossibleself. How does this compare to your usual eating experience? This is just another way of practicing the art of training our attention and becoming more mindful in general. I've been Gabby, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 24 of your Month of Mindfulness Challenge.